And the other thing I'm going to mention, which is really big because it's kind of controversial in, I want to say more of the integrative field because everybody knows how toxic sunscreens are. However, we have tested some that are more safe. Please, whatever you do, wear sunscreen in the sun. That is going to age your skin faster than anything else. And I know you're shaking your head at me, but the skin damage you see in your 40s and 50s, that occurred in your 20s. So, everybody needs to be very careful, even if it's cold outside and you don't think you're getting any sun exposure. That's really important.
Okay. I agree with you. All right. I'm not going to knock you on the sunscreen as long as it's not toxic.
I'm going to do a side by side.
I know, but that's the thing. I love the sun. I love my vitamin D level. I love just being out without sun or applying anything onto my skin. But I also understand the risks of it too. And I think if I were a woman who is really worried about that, I would absolutely be much more prone to wearing more sunscreen more of the time. Me, I don't mind my, wrinkles and everything as I age.
Well, let's
and I have you to do PRP and lasers and everything else. So that's also part of the reason I can go without sunscreen, even though I do wear it. It's not to say I just try and, go without it as much as possible. But
well, for men, I think, men start to age and it's sexy. Women start to age and all of a sudden that's not sexy, right? So there's a stigma here. There's like, for men, it's okay, but women, it's not. So it's still important to do. I think we need to change the aging for women, right? It should be okay to age gracefully and naturally. We shouldn't have to feel like from media or the TV or looking at Instagram posts from the before and afters, like we have to look a certain way. No matter what you do, how well you eat, how well you take care of your skin, wrinkles and aging is inevitable. There's no way to completely halt that as of now. So as a society in general, we need to embrace that.
I completely agree with you. And I think we talk about, and I think you chose one of your handles, Age Artfully, right? Is about understanding that we all age. It's a process of life. Wrinkles are a process of life over time. In some ways, it shows you smiled a lot, right? Or did, or showed emotion, whatever it is. But that is a process of life. And I think the advent of things like Botox went against that natural aging process. And I do think it gave us an unnatural expectation where women in 50s and 60s have such a solid face, right? That's pulled back and stretched across them. But I have to say, for us to look at that and say that is natural, that's not right. And you're right, a much more natural should be applauded. And we should almost be looking at unnatural as, well, we know unnatural is usually not healthy. Usually it turns into something else, and it turns into a kind of, a search for more and more that is unhealthier and unhealthier. So I completely agree that I think there are lots of social dynamics involved in aging that has pushed so many to seek Botox. And I don't think it's at all about feeling guilty if you have, or judgment. And if you want to, go ahead. But again, understand that there are implications. There are negative adverse reactions to it. And who knows, even the long-term implications of a heavy toxin being injected and possibly going into certain areas and causing some damage. And now that you have these alternatives, why not seek them? Because I think you can then age very well and not look unnatural, because you're actually taking things that are applied naturally